This is Shannon, and I'm Nate. We're a nomadic couple traveling the US in our JDM camper van. Shannon is currently in Florida working on a house renovation, and I'm in New Hampshire helping my sister and brother-in-law move into a new home. Shannon and I will be back in the van together full-time in a couple of weeks. Before that happens, I need to make some much-needed upgrades to address the quirks in our little van's layout. I've definitely made quite a bit of a mess in the van over the past day or so. It's just funny how you have to make a mess in order to get organized. You have to pull everything out, and then I'm going through every little container and trying to pare down and figure out what I need and what I don't need, and then go and put it all back in, and most of it's just going back in the same spot that you pulled it out from, but it's just smaller and more compact. I guess that's just part of minimalism, right? It's a process. It is an ongoing process. You kind of have to maintain it. It requires maintenance. It's just really easy to accumulate stuff. Nobody is really immune to it, and it got to the point here where things were flying out and just it was impossible to get to the stuff that I needed to get to. I am pretty happy with the amount of space that I saved yesterday though by going through everything, and now I can actually access the stuff that I need to access on a day-to-day basis. I do have one final minimalism project for the day. These are all of my tools. And I'm very happy that I have these tools with me on the road. I've been using them quite a bit. They came in handy with my sister when she's moving into the new place over the past couple of days. Definitely have been using these tools quite a bit on the road. I'm going to use them in the van later today as well. But the issue is that they take up a lot of space. Like, this is a lot of stuff. There's not much that I can do with this toolbox here. It is jam-packed with all my power tools for example, if I do a van renovation in the near future, which is looking like a pretty good possibility, I'm gonna need this. So I can't really do much with this guy. But these ones here, I know that I can find a more efficient storage solution. These are all of my wrenches. It's the original Craftsman set. I just kept the trays that they came in and wrapped them up in a towel with some bungee cords because I didn't really have another solution. These trays here are really just not a great use of space. There's a lot of wasted area, and they produce this big, heavy rectangle, which is very difficult to get to. I definitely think that I could come up with a better way to do this. So what I did is I ordered some canvas tool wraps. They're coming in the mail. They should be here in a couple of hours, and I'm gonna try to consolidate it. So basically this goes from this big rectangle to something that's quite a bit smaller. Should be able to take a lot of what's in this big container as well and put it into the tool bags and the wraps, and then I'll be able to kind of squish them and put them in random spots throughout the van so that they're a lot more accessible for when I need them. I guess I'm kind of a dork, but I do genuinely enjoy the whole process of minimalism and just trying to make everything more efficient, figuring out exactly what I need, and trying to use less things in order to accomplish the same goals. It applies for everything: camera gear, tools, golf clubs, basically everything that I have. The next project for the day today is to reassess this whole power situation that we have in the van. I know I've talked about it in quite a few videos previously. I have it set up right now so that I can use the inverter running from the house battery while I'm driving to charge the Bluetti, so that we can actually get a charge while we're doing a long drive, say it's an hour or 2 hours. But the issue is that it's extremely difficult for me to turn that on right now. I have to open up this compartment here, and then I have to move some things around and reach in and plug in to the inverter, plug in the AC adapter to the inverter, turn on the inverter, and then switch the plug up there. I want to sort of streamline this process as best I can. I also want to make some changes to our power station here so that it's a little more usable, and then I want to make it look prettier. I haven't painted it yet. I built this in a Walmart parking lot somewhere in like Georgia or Tennessee or Alabama, I don't remember, but this needs to change as well. So this is the next project for the day. Yeah, that basically took all day. I did not realize how time-consuming that process would be, but what I did is I removed the handle on the Bluetti so that it doesn't rub up against the roof. If you look, there's actually a section up here where it was kind of put a little tiny dent in the fiberglass of the roof, so that was a problem. And then I put in these, I guess, folding 500-pound hinges that fold and lock into place so that the Bluetti does not move at all up there. Now it's never going to slide around. It's going to be nice and secure. I was able to clean up all the wiring in here as well. Every time I would put something up here, I keep my snacks up here, my backpack. Every time I put it up, I would always get caught on wires, be unplugging things accidentally, unplugging the fridge. It was a pain, so I kind of just needed to take a lot of time to go in and make sure that those wires are not going to move anymore. And then I was able to get the extension cord run from the inverter over here over to the Bluetti. I can now charge while driving by simply switching a button and then changing the wire from solar to the AC adapter. Shouldn't be too difficult. Definitely is going to be a lot easier when we're on the road, but it was quite the process. So a few days ago, one of my family members may or may not have accidentally run over my golf clubs, like with a car. Fortunately, the damage really wasn't that bad. I'm still not really sure how it happened. It was just like a freak accident. But they hit the rear portion of my bag, like the lower part of it, so like underneath where all the grips are. I think that's where most of the damage was. A couple of the steel shafted clubs are a little bent out of shape, but hey, my clubs are old, guys. Like, mistakes happen. It is what it is. Well, I really wanted to get out here today and swing them and just see if any of them break in half, because if that happens, I'll know that there's some hidden damage. I also just really wanted to get outside and get some exercise. It was pouring rain at my sister's place, like absolutely pouring all day. I was in the van working on the computer doing a bunch of editing, and then I came down here about an hour south of there. It's absolutely gorgeous, guys. Like, it's not gonna rain at all. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful evening. I'm just happy to be out here. Look at that hawk. Okay, so I didn't play great, but I can't blame the golf clubs. They're a little bent out of shape. They've definitely seen better days, but like I said, they're old, and I'm just gonna stick with them as long as I can. So this package came yesterday evening while I was on the golf course. It is the last project that I want to do in terms of upgrades around the van, at least this time around. Our plan is to follow the fall down towards Florida in October, early November. We're going to try to do the Blue Ridge Parkway and make our way back down there, hopefully catch some cool foliage. And it's going to start getting cold. Like in the mornings and the evenings, it's going to be chilly in here. There's actually already been a couple of mornings in here while I've been camped in my sister's driveway where I've needed to use the shore power to plug in my little cheap electric space heater because it was really chilly in here. And I've been in this van pretty much all day working on my computer and stuff, or on these projects around the van. And it'll be nice once I head out of here. I'm planning to leave tomorrow and start just making my way down south. I have a couple of cool things that may or may not happen, so I'll be sharing that with you guys in the future. But bottom line is, like, it's going to start to get a little chilly in the mornings and in the evenings, and it's going to be nice to have a source of heat for the van while we are off-grid. The last time I tried installing a heater in this van, it did not go so well. I made a whole video about it. It was basically a complete disaster. I wasted like 3 full days trying to get a defective Chinese diesel heater to work. It was really, really bad. So I decided not to go with diesel again. I kind of don't really want to deal with it. I think that if I were to do that, I would need to hire out for it and just hire somebody to do the install. There is a fuel line that runs to our diesel tank. This is a diesel van, but the fuel line is definitely clogged, and it is beyond my expertise to go in there and rerun a new fuel line and get it working again. So like I said, I'd have to hire somebody for it. We'd be looking at probably thousands of dollars, especially if we went with like an S-bar heater or like an actual one. instead of another defective Chinese diesel heater. I just don't want to deal with diesel again. We have a propane system in this fan already for our oven here. I can just pull right from that, and what I'm going to do is I decided to go with the Camco Wave 3 Olympian. It was like just under 300 bucks. I want to say $260 for this heater. I know that they are sometimes a little bit cheaper than that even, but that was a deal that I could find. I know a lot of van lifers use this. I actually saw it originally on Static Camper Van's channel. I know that he has it, and I'm actually going to try to copy his setup a little bit. He has a TV mount that he uses to kind of swivel it out into his living space when he needs it, and then he can tuck it away with the TV mount. And I bought a mount. I have a place that I want to try to do it. Just hopefully this goes better than the last time I tried installing a heater. That wasn't so bad. I did have to run to Lowe's to get a couple of bolts to mount the TV mount, but this is it right here. Just kind of hangs out. We can slide it. I'll be able to fold it up and put it up against the counter, hidden out of sight. I don't really see us using this thing too often. You know, maybe on a cold morning or in a cold evening. I don't think we're going to run it overnight or anything like that. That's not really the intended purpose of these, but it will be a nice convenience if it is relatively chilly, and I'm sure we're going to start encountering that cold weather pretty soon. Before ending this vlog, I do want to give a little update about what's going on with Shannon in the house in Florida. I know a few folks have asked about that. The renovation is going really well. She's basically gutted the entire interior. She has her cousin there helping her with the renovation. They've pulled everything out, all the cabinets, everything in the kitchen. The whole house was covered in this like bright pink carpet. I know that we showed it in a previous video, and that is all gone now, and they are actually doing polished concrete flooring throughout the entire house. It actually should be done later today, at some point today. Shannon's going to be able to see it for the first time, so definitely coming along nicely there. She has a couple more weeks of that renovation, and then she's going to be leaving and coming to meet me in upstate New York, and we'll be together from that point on, guys. We're going to be heading down south, like I said before, slowly making our way back to Florida, where we'll hopefully be by December or so, spend a couple of months there, and then not really sure what's going to happen. We've got a lot going on, though. A lot of things could change. There are definitely some moving parts, things that I'm very, very excited about, but I will update you guys at some point in the future. Thanks for watching. I can't thank you all enough for following along and supporting this journey. I'll talk to you all in the next one. All right. Over there. Good boy. Okay.